Howdy guys, welcome back to another one. This time we're putting together another fairly big number 4 buckshot shell here. This is 3.5 inch 12 gauge. The components we're going to be using is Hodgdon little gun, a shadot hull. This is actually stamped Kent, if you can read it. It is stamped Kent. And these came unprimed. I have a Shadot CX2000 in it, which is just the standard Shadot primer. And we're using the Ballistic Products CTPS wad, Cushion TPS. It is a non-tox wad meant for steel shot and TSS, but you can use lead with it too, and bismuth, whatever kind of shot you want. But see the cushion right here? It is a cushioned wad. No need for any sort of filler unless you want to decrease your stack height. But this wad is awesome. It is pretty much everything I've ever wanted in a wad. The shot cup is not tapered. It is straight wall all the way down. The petals are 1 diameter, so a lot of capacity in this wad right here, and the cushion. But yeah, I can't praise the wad enough. It's awesome. We're using my number 4 buck, which is 24 caliber. Some of them are powder coated, some of them aren't. It is 24 caliber, and if I didn't say it, it is hard cast lead, tumbled and polished, and then some are powder coated, some aren't. Lastly, Ballistic Products BSB buffer. This used to be ITX, but Martin sent us some BSB buffer. It's the same thing as the ITX, just a different name. This is my favorite buffer that Ballistic Products offers, favorite buffer in general actually, but that's what I'm using. You could also use the mix number 47 or the original buffer if you have those, and of course ITX, which again is the same thing as this. So honestly, a very simple load. We just need powder, wad, shot, buffer, crimp. That's it. There's no filler, which again makes it very simple. To get this started, I want to use Gary Caskey's 4-pedal adjustable 10 gauge wad slitter. I have this set to do a 4-pedal half cut on this wad. This is number 4 buck. The pellets are pretty small, which lets you use shallower cuts in non-tox wads without having to worry about the buckshot sticking in it. Half cut, 4 pedals, and how it works, you set it in the shot cup and you push down. That's it, and you're done. We have 4 pedals and half cut on the wad. Simple as can be. Gary makes some awesome tools. Facebook.com/Gary.D.Caskey if you want any of Gary's tools. I'll also be using his, he calls it a wad nudger, I call it a wad tamper, but we'll be using his wad nudger to help seat the first layer of pellets, just to get them oriented in the right stack order. Little gun, 40. There we go. The wad we just trimmed. Get that in there. If you heard the air rush out, there you go. This wad is a nice tight fit. No chance of powder migration with that wad. So next we'll need 47 pellets of my number 4 buck, or any number 4 buck you have. This being cast out of wheel weights, it is a 2.26 ounce load, so 1/100th more than 1 1/4 ounce. It is basically just a 1 1/4 ounce load for all intents and purposes. If you use buffer, which I am, it's going to bring it up to a 2.31 ounce load. So just a bit more than 2.3 ounces, which is, I think 2.325 is 1 5/16. We'll call it a 1 5/16 ounce load. Math, I know, terrible. But here's once again the pellets. What I do is I stack them in rows of 5 with 1 in the middle. So drop 6 in, give it a little bit of a shake. If they won't line up just right, use a wad nudger or anything you have to get them in the proper orientation, and then drop them in by layers of 6 all the way up to until you get to 42. Once you hit the number 42, put 5 on top without 1 in the center, giving you a total of 47 pellets. If you put 1 in the center after 47, so a total of 48 pellets, the middle pellet will stick up proud past the rest of them and you won't be able to crimp this. So 47 pellets it is. That will get you a completely even stack all the way up the shell and a flat stack across the top. To make that more understandable, I have 5 in here right now. Press them down to get them in the right order with a wad tamper or anything you have, and then drop a 6th one in and let it go right in the middle. So you have 5 around the edge or inside the wad. and then one in the middle. That one in the middle should be standing up again in the center but above the rest of the pellets. And then around that pellet you want to drop in 5 more, and then it should be flat. A 6th one will stand up proud of that stack again. So just keep doing that until you hit 42 and put 5 across the top. So once it looks like this, you should have 47 pellets in and an even stack of 5 across the top without one in the middle. And all of those pellets minus half of the top layer is inside the wad. Half of it is. During setback, all of it will be inside the wad. And lastly, we need our buffer if you want to use buffer. If you do, it'll bring it up to a basically 2 5/16 ounce load. Using the Lee 2.2 cc dipper, that took 2.5 scoops. And it is flush with the top row of pellets. This does not need an overshot card. If you want to use one, I suggest using the Tyvek overshot cards, which are 5/1000ths of an inch thick. I think it was 5/1000ths. Anyway, Ballistic Products touts it to be the thinnest overshot card in the world, and that will not increase the stack height, but it will seal your buffer in. I don't have any of those, so I'm just going to go ahead and crimp this. I have one sitting somewhere. It crimped just fine. Let's see if this one will too. And final crimp it. And like always, I give it multiple pulls up and down while turning the hull, just to get a more uniform, little bit deeper set crimp overall. Come on, show. Ah well. But as you can see, we ended up with a pretty good crimp. It is deep set, will not pop back open, no pinhole in the middle. I'll hit it with a Got BN2 off camera to give it some taper, because as you can see, it does not have a taper on it right now. But after the Got, it should look like a factory shell with a good taper on it. And here's what it looks like after the Got. Crimp's a lot deeper set, and it is now tapered. Awesome. I did forget to put some lube on the Got. I use Rim Oil or Professor Pew COP. Love that stuff. So the top edge of it, you probably can't see it on camera, is a little bit wavy, but still, it looks excellent. If you remember me talking about that shell I couldn't find, well, it's been right here the whole time. And that's what it looks like. Same thing. 47 pellets of number 4 buck. Loading giant buckshot rounds is a lot of fun, and they're even more fun to shoot, which is why we load so many of them. But I think that's going to end this video here, guys. If you liked it, please give us a like and consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you. And if you want to, go check out our Patreon. It's as low as $1 a month, and you guys get early access to content. A link to that, as well as a link to our Instagram, Rumble, and merch store will be in the description below. But other than that, you guys take it easy, and we'll see you in the next one.